The Guardians' injuries, I guess we know where we are now with Angel and with Jose, but we're still trying to figure out where things are with DeLauter. This is like a mystery.
Yeah, Stephen Vogt gave updates yesterday. Ramirez's timeline, 5 to 7 weeks. Martínez headed to the 10-day IL. It could be longer, but with Chase DeLauter, this is what Stephen Vogt had to say about his situation, his rib contusion. Quote, Chase got the MRI, then got a CT scan late last night, so our medical staff is still working through the information on that. We don't quite have all the results back or specifics of what's going on, but we'll know more in the next 24 to 48 hours. He had a rib contusion on Saturday, guys.
Yeah.
It is now Wednesday, and they still don't have an update on exactly what.
No, I would think
it doesn't sound good.
They should just put him on the IL. If they backdated it, he'd be eligible to come off the DL or the IL a week from today. So, worse, you miss him for a week.
Well, they can still do that. Like, if they found out tonight or tomorrow, they could still do that and post.
Eventually, you can't go back too far. I can't remember how many days it is.
I think it's halfway.
It might be. But at this point, like, you need another player.
Yeah. Yeah, you're kind of handcuffing yourself.
The bigger concern is 4 days, you don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
that's what I would say. That doesn't make any sense. I mean, we've got the best equipment, the best doctors in the world to take a look at them, and they don't know? That's a little concerning.
I mean, for the first day, and sometimes it's swelling. The swelling needs to go down. I don't know if that would be the case here, but that should be gone within the first 24 to 48 hours.
Is it possible they just don't have the results of the CTs?
Well, again, we're talking about, they put a rush on all of this stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
You would think that they would read them immediately after the test.
I don't know. It's weird. It is bizarre, but
it happens on occasion where guys, I don't want to say misdiagnosed, but it's. I mean, look at Aaron Judge. He played through it for a couple months.
Yeah, and you'd rather err on the side of caution.
That's what I'm saying. With his injury history, put him on the IL now. Let him sit out a week, and if he's good in a week, okay, it's a week.
Yeah, especially with his history, you don't want to push it. You talk about misdiagnoses and what they can mean. The one that comes to mind for me was Ray Fosse way back in 1971 when he was bowled over at home plate by Pete Rose. Initially, the Indians team doctor said, yeah, you're good. And he went out and he played. And then he got to the point where he couldn't even raise his arm.
Yeah.
And he said, guys, I'm not good. And and this went on for quite a while.
Right.
And then they took an x-ray and go, oh, our bad, you got a broken collarbone or whatever it ended up being.
I mean, that shouldn't happen nowadays.
Ray is past now, but Ray, in all of the interviews he ever did, was always asked about the collision at home plate with Pete Rose, who famously bowled him over in the 12th inning of a tied All-Star game.
Yeah.
And Pete would say, or Ray would often say, I know the narrative is that ruined my career. It really didn't. Even though he was an all-star that year and then never an all-star again. Yeah. And he was having a tremendous, I believe it was his rookie season.
Right.
Maybe his second season. He was having a great year, and he was never the same player. So you want to make sure you get this right. Yeah. And if it takes a little bit of extra time, what you don't want to do is put him out there. And
now you restart the clock.
Yes.
And then he has to go on the deal anyway.
Aggravates it, or perhaps even hurts it, and it ends up becoming more than what it would have been if they just waited for him to get healthy.
Yeah, I think they should just put him on. It'll be interesting to see what they do today. They play again tonight against the Brewers.
I can't remember the last time a team with three of its best offensive players all went out in the same game.
Yeah, that's
just
probably never happened, or almost
I can't remember
never.
it.